Back in the day of my YouTube channel, I made a video about Miami and Dubai, doing a comparison. In my channel, I have a bunch of videos in Spanish talking about different cultural experiences, about profiles and analysis of many countries and cities around the world, with a special focus in Latin America. And in this video, I want to do a little reboot video, but in English, doing that comparison video I made back in the day about Miami versus Dubai. I will mention some similarities and some differences between the two cities, but before I want to explain a little context before going into the full comparison video. So I've been in Miami twice, in 2016 and 2021, and I spent around 3 days each of the times. And regarding Dubai, I visited the city March this year, and I spent around 2 days in the city. Before going in depth on the comparison, I just want to mention a little bit that I think that this Gulf region where Dubai, Qatar, and all these Gulf cities are located, I kind of feel that this region of the world is a sort of Islamic or Middle Eastern version of the US or North America in a way, because all these cities are very car-centered and there's like very few public transportation in general. There's also like a bunch of shopping malls and highways all around. And also in the Gulf region and Arabia, there's also lots of international crowd in the same way as North America or the US also has it. So with that background explained a little bit, let's go in depth with the analysis. Alright, we're gonna start with the similarities between Dubai and Miami. And the first difference I want to mention, which is something that you can also extrapolate to the whole region of the Gulf or the US as a whole, is that both cities are super car-centered. Like the cities are sort of designed to be driven rather than walked. And because of that, also the public transportation is very limited. Though I would say that Dubai has a better public transportation, like it has like a better metro system. And Miami also has a metro, but it's pretty much limited to go from the airport to the downtown and maybe from the downtown towards Dateland. But apart from that, all the city of Miami is pretty much car-centered for the most part. So this car dependency on both cities is the first similarity I wanted to mention. Of course, another similarity is that both cities have a huge international crowd, but still this crowd is a little different between the both cities. So Miami has a huge concentration from people from Latin America for the most part, especially from the Caribbean region rather than the whole Latin American region, but especially from the Caribbean region. And Dubai has people mainly from Asia, like from the Philippines, India, Bangladesh, etc. But it's mainly focused on the subcontinent area or South Asia rather than from other areas of the world. Another interesting similarity between the two cities is that the sort of national language of both cities is not sometimes the most spoken language in both cities. So for instance, Miami has English as the official language, but in many neighborhoods or many areas you would probably hear more Spanish being spoken rather than English. In a similar fashion, in Dubai also happens that trend that most of the people there speak English and do not speak Arabic, but you see signs of Arabic everywhere. But still in Dubai, many people speak Arabic because there's many migrants from Iraq, from Egypt, from Morocco. So it's not everything South Asian or subcontinent Asia kind of. But I would say that's a very shocking similarity between the two cities. Of course, the two cities as well are huge transportation hubs. With that, I mean that the two cities have like big international airports, and also the two cities are very important cruise hubs. So Miami, for example, is the biggest hub in the world for cruises, and Dubai is a growing hub for cruising in the Gulf region specifically. And regarding the international airports, Dubai functions as a sort of key link between Europe and East Asia and Australia, and the Miami airport functions as a sort of link between the whole US and Latin America. Also, a very interesting similarity between the two cities are that both of the cities have lots of artificial islands on them. And as I said before, that the Gulf region and the US are similar in that way, another similarity between the two cities is that both cities are filled with shopping malls everywhere, and also going a little away from the city. So in the case of Dubai, going to Abu Dhabi, and in the case of Miami, going to Orlando. Both cities, if you go away from the city, you will find a bunch of theme parks and amusement parks everywhere. And finally, another similarity I find between the two cities is that both cities share a kind of similar history in a way, in the sense that both cities like grew up kind of quickly in terms of urban development, in terms of construction of high rises all around the city. Both cities had this kind of sudden rise in the map, and I think that this similar history pattern is very striking and very interesting as well. And finally, I will mention 5 differences that I find between the two cities. Of course, the two cities are very different in terms of cultural backgrounds, because one place is sort of Christian or westernized in a way, and the other place is very Middle Eastern or Islamic in some sense. But this is not the only difference I want to mention. These are another 5 differences I find between Miami and Dubai. So for the most part, I would say Miami is a sort of vacation and party city in general, or at least that's the vibe I get from visiting the city the 2 times. And Dubai, in contrast, is more like entrepreneurial, and it's more like a kind of business city in a way. So the people that go to Miami, maybe they go to vacation or spend some leisure time, but the people that go to Dubai for the most part are people that wants to work on the city, like working or doing some entrepreneurial things. With regards to modernity in the city, I would say Dubai is way more modern and updated in its architecture in general. And Miami in general, except for the high-rise condos along the coasts, most of the constructions in Miami are quite old, I would say. Also, another difference between the two cities is a little bit the style of the city. So Miami has a kind of an 80s or tropical or Latino vibe on it, like a very Caribbean vibe, I would say. And Dubai, for the other part, has like a kind of like 2010s modernity vibe or like a luxurious vibe. It's a little different from Miami, for sure. Also, Miami tends to have more long-term residents. Dubai, on the other part, has like more temporary residents with working visas and stuff. Most of the citizens of Dubai are expats that have like working visas that last for 2-3 years, but they are not like super long-term residents. And finally, a very obvious difference between the two cities is the landscape that you will find going out of the two cities. So in Miami, you will pretty much find mangroves in the Everglades National Park, and in Dubai, you will pretty much find desert just going out of the city. So the landscapes are shockingly different between the two cities. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my first English video on YouTube. If so, please give it a like and also share the video if you find that it's an interesting analysis. Please also comment on the video some impressions you have about this analysis. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video and you want me to make more English videos from now on, apart from my Spanish videos I have on the channel. Okay guys, wish you the best. Bye.